Gauteng's major roads continues to have new developments. The latest being incorrect billing of motorists using e-toll roads and fears from economists regarding negative economic impact on consumers, as they'll also be hit by a steep fuel increase which kicked in on the 1st of January. Now, to further unpack the latest on the e-toll story, I'm now joined by SABC journalist Nozintombi Miya, who's been covering this story for some time. Thanks very much for joining us. And this is a story that really has been, if you're in Gauteng, you know about e-tolls and you know the e-toll story. Now, it kicked off end of December. It kicked off.
The start of December.
Yeah, start of December it kicked off. And now in January we're supposedly getting the first bills, e-toll bills. But this hasn't gone smoothly.
It's really towards the end of December that people were starting to get SMS notifications to say that they're owing from about 60 to about 500 rands. You do remember that SANRAL had said that they would cap off the e-toll bills for any motorist at about 450 for traveling and using the gantries. But that doesn't seem to have happened, because we do find people who are getting notifications that they're owing over 500 rands for using the e-toll gantries. So the biggest story right now, as people head back to work and will be using the highways and will be going underneath the gantries, will be the issue of how will this billing issue be corrected. We do see that SANRAL has issued out incorrect billing in terms of SMS notification, either in terms of postal notification, and there doesn't seem to be a sense of responsibility from SANRAL to say, listen, motorists, this is really the situation that's happening. This is a breakdown of the bill that you're expected to pay. There doesn't seem to be any communication from SANRAL to motorists to say this.
Let's split it, because there's two types of people on the road at the moment. There are those that are tagged and those that are not tagged. The ones that are tagged have gone into a SANRAL office or gone online, they've bought a tag and they've registered it. How are they getting their bills? Are they getting invoices? Are they getting statements? How are they getting notified about how much they've been charged?
We did a story last week around doing a wrap and speaking to various motorists, some who do have tags and some who don't have tags. And you find that the situation is that whether you're tagged or you don't have a tag, you're still facing the same situation of incorrect billing. Right. You find that people will get an SMS notification. That really is how SANRAL has been notifying people that they are owing these e-toll bills, whether or not you have a tag or you don't have a tag.
And what are you supposed to do? Do you go to an office to pay it, or do they take it off, debit you? What happens?
Ideally, what motorists should do is go to the SANRAL offices. Whether you have a tag or whether you don't have an e-tag, it would be prudent for you, if you have a car that is using the Gauteng highways that will be traveling underneath the gantries, to go to the SANRAL offices and verify for yourself. Ask for an invoice. Ask for an invoice that gives a breakdown of exactly how much it is you have been billed per gantry. You should, just like with your traffic fines, you should be finding out where and when did you get that ticket. That really is advice to motorists right now. There is a lot of confusion around the billing system. Rather go to the SANRAL offices and make sure, verify. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and get a bill of 1,000 rands and you're not really sure what that 1,000 rands is from. Rather preempt it and go to the SANRAL offices and make sure you get an invoice from them.
So those that are not tagged, how are they finding them? Because all they have is a registration number, and I guess all they can do is get it by post, because they haven't got mobile phone numbers, etc., etc.
Well, it really does apply to people who don't have e-tags. Go to the SANRAL offices and make sure you find out with your car registration number how much you're owing. It's up to you as the motorist to ensure that you have been billed correctly. It might not seem very fair, because SANRAL has promised motorists that they would make sure that the billing...
Are they going to offer another way of dealing with this? Because I can imagine it's inconvenient to have to be driving to SANRAL offices every single month to sort out your bills. Can't you pay online? There must be another way.
SANRAL has admitted to having some teething problems around the billing issue, Peter. But I think at the moment there's just too much confusion that SANRAL themselves is still trying to deal with. It would be better for the motorists themselves to go to the offices. It may be a bit inconvenient, but at the end of the day, you will know exactly how much you billed for using the gantries.
What is SANRAL saying about the billing issues themselves? Do they acknowledge that there's a problem, and are they dealing with it?
SANRAL has taken a firm line that motorists who do use the gantries should pay for the use of the gantries.
But the incorrect billings, what are they saying?
And with the incorrect billings, what they have acknowledged is that there have been some teething problems, and they have called on motorists to work with them in solving the issue. There has been no timeline in terms of when the billing issue will be dealt with. It's sort of been a case of, you know what, we are aware that there is a problem, but work with us to resolving the issue. There's been no timelines that have been put on to say this is when. We're giving ourselves 6 months to say within this next 6 months we will be sorting out the issue. There has been none of that. And I think that is a criticism, a valid criticism against SANRAL, that there hasn't been enough communication. And that's been the big issue around the entire e-toll process. Communication with motorists, communication with the general public has not been sufficient enough to explain the processes that SANRAL has implemented around the e-tolling, around the billing, around the issue of going forward. What will be the next step taken by SANRAL?
All right, okay. Nozintombi Miya, thank you very much for keeping your eye on this particular story. I'm sure we're going to be chatting to you again about this matter in the coming days. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Peter.